What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of J&B Unsupervised. Today is a little bit of a special episode. This is episode number 10. And before we get into anything, I just have to say, can you believe it's episode 10? I can't believe I have this guy next to me. This has been brewing for a while now. I've talked to him. He didn't know if he wanted to do this. And I think he's enjoying himself now. We come together. We do this every week. We pour ourselves a good drink. And we have a good time. Like I said, it's a special episode. It's number 10. So we're going to dive right into this.
Right into March Madness.
Yes, sir.
That's kicked off Thursday.
Not a lot of brackets left that are good. I think 18 brackets are left that are still perfect. I think it's 18.
I think it's 1,800
is
going into today.
Going into today.
Out of 22 million for
I just know there's not a lot of brackets left.
There is not. There is a lot that got broken. The women's kicked off today.
The women, I just think the women's March Madness tournament is going to be much better than the men. That's not a shot at the men. The women just have more stars right now.
I just think that they have more notable stars.
And shout out to the women, though. Like, finally, like, people are out here making a big deal. Oh, I can't believe the women. No, like, kudos to the women. Like, they have stars.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm here for it. Like, I've told people before, I like women's sports. I like women's basketball. I like watching it. And I'm happy that they're finally hitting a point where they're their own thing. Like, you're not comparing, like, you're a little like, hey, man, they're better than the men right now. They just have more stars.
Well, it's just kind of nice that women in college... Well, see, it's always been frustrating that college women hoops has always garnered the media, garnered ESPN and Sports Center and the attention, but the WNBA...
Yeah. I just hope that the WNBA doesn't fumble these stars that are coming, because they are coming.
You got Angel Reese, you got Caitlin
Clark, dude. Juju Watkins, who's a freshman right now.
Angel Reese, maybe not, but you know she's been talking
about it,
about that.
But
I mean, she's come out and even said that, you know, because everyone's like, because there was some controversy that came out about her with LSU that maybe she was pregnant, maybe she had a low GPA, this or that, and she was like, y'all don't realize I can handle like 10,000 things at once. She's like, I'm still averaging I'm still having the double.
What bothers me about it? When we watch men's sports, people love the conflict, the friction, the body, but when women do it, oh no, they can't. Like, why can't they be competitive?
Like the brawl that the women have.
Oh, the LSU South Carolina people were like, oh, I can't believe. I'm like, I'm here for it. Go at it.
The only thing I didn't like was that the brother out of the fans.
Oh, they jumped
stay in the stands. The women stay there. Like, I get it.
He got charged though. I don't think he served jail time, but he got charged. You can't jump down.
It's women. I get it. It's your sister. Like, if you jump...
But kudos him for body protection, but she got it.
No, because he's getting charged because he lay hands.
Well, yeah, you can't...
You can go and you can grab your sister or whoever.
Her sister was on the ground, so there was no...
Go get her. Go get her, pick her up.
But overall, for the brawl, though, I'm here for it. Let them compete. Like they say, let them compete. I hope we see them again.
Well, they should... I mean, eventually...
Honestly, though, but what's really impressive is Iowa and LSU are in the same bracket. We could get a rematch.
Potentially, we get to see that
of the national championship from last season. Between I'm here for it. You have Texas, you have Notre Dame, South Carolina's undefeated, Iowa. Like, you have so much in the women's tournament right now. And like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from the men's, because what you get with the men's is different from the women. But you're getting from the women right now is crazy, and I'm here for both sides.
It's a pretty good drama.
But moving off the women, there's been some drama already in the men's.
Well, back on the women's, though, South Carolina, if they win it all, will be the first team since UConn to win it as undefeated. But on the men's side, there has been upsets that has already broken.
The biggest one, though?
The biggest one definitely was Kentucky.
Kentucky went down!
Like, in Oakland? Was it
Oakland? I don't even know who they are, bro.
Kentucky was a number 3 seed.
Oh, man.
Lost to a 14 seed. Back-to-back years, they've been bounced by a double-digit seed.
Do they bring back Calipari as the head coach?
Do
you think Calipari's overrated?
I don't think he's overrated.
I think he's overrated.
To me, he's
Does he need to adjust the coaching style?
I think he's stopped coaching. He recruits the freshmen. He brings in the top recruits.
He's always had that,
which is great.
He's always had that.
And then they go, and then they leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's always brought these guys in, and then they leave. Like he develops them to the NBA.
He develops well, and then they leave. He needs to really learn the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And get in those juniors, those seniors, those weathered guys, those seasoned vets in college to really help out your freshmen. Obviously, a handful.
But it's also he's got to get better.
Bench.
He's got to get better at coaching. You're bringing in these kids.
It's not really bad on coaching because he's developing these guys. The reason why they're going there is to be coached by him to go to the NBA.
Yes.
Because that's you one stop go.
Yeah, that's
why you go there. That's Kentucky.
That's Kentucky.
That's Duke. A little bit of Kansas. I mean, it's the Blue Bloods.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, Kansas. Bill Self goes out and he gets the seasoned vets and the transfer portal to give that. I mean,
Bill Self's adapt, but Cal
look at our point guard.
Adapt. Yeah,
our point guard. He's a senior. He's been there. Harris has been there. And I mean, obviously, the last year's national championship.
Yep.
He was a big part of it, but he's been there, done that. And he's a big part on why we were able to get past a team that full court press the whole entire time. Kentucky just kind of misses it. Another big upset was Michigan State upsetted Mississippi State, 69-51. I don't know if I could call that an early upset.
It was 8-9 seed, right?
Yeah, Michigan was in 9 and 8.
The biggest one was...
But BYU...
Well, quick, before we even move on, we got to talk about Oakland. Home dude don't even shoot two. Jack, I don't know his last name, but Jack...
Oh, talking about the Kentucky game?
Kentucky game.
Yeah, he shot 10-3.
He only shot 8 two-pointers the whole season.
In the regular season. The dude said, fuck the mid-range.
23 points. Didn't assist the ball, rebound. That boy's a pure shooter. But on him, though,
Who's the dude from on the Nuggets? He said, I don't pass, I'm a shooter.
Oh, Porter? That dude a straight shooter. Crazy.
He's like, I'm scoring.
But speaking of Jack, real quick, though, I loved his press conference. He literally, at the post game, he literally looked at the camera, looked at all the reporters, dead in the eyes, like, I know I'm not going to the NBA. But on any given night, I can compete with those dudes that are going to go to the NBA. Those 5-stars, 4-stars.
You shoot like that?
That's why I love March Madness. We are in a different time in college basketball. These lower seeds, and these are like these 16, 17, 14, these teams are coming to play. And NIL has helped change that because these players don't have to leave home.
Well,
they can stay.
I mean, you still get the big money by going to the
but it's
colleges.
Changed it a little bit. Where you don't
I thought going into this for the men's. Obviously, for the women's, it's not the same. I mean, the women still get the NIL deals, but for the men's, you just didn't really feel like you had like the big names, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, Kentucky,
there's been a lot of upsets over
even the Blue Bloods, who are the no names.
Yes,
you just didn't really feel like they were cream of the crop.
No,
you just didn't really feel like they were just going to kind of run through it. I felt this was a very pre-COVID year where we're like literally you had the number one team throughout the year losing to no names. I just really feel like is kind of the same kind of feel where we might, I don't think we will happen, but the Cinderella could end up winning it this year.
Yeah,
could win it all. It's just
nobody's
really overly talented.
Anything can happen in March Madness.
Well, I mean that's the beauty of it. But I mean BYU fell to the 11th seed. No, it just says DU.
I don't know. I know which team you're talking about.
But they lost to 11th seed, 71-67. Yep. Oregon upsetted South Carolina.
Jermaine dropped a 40-piece on his former team. Think about it. Oregon scored 87 points. Jermaine scored 40. Boy went nuts on his former team.
They should have paid him more money.
Good God, boy!
But they were at 60. They lost to 11. That's tough.
Yep.
And then our boy Patrick Mahomes' Texas Tech team
lost. It was a
80,
close game, and in the second half, it just got blown out of hand, man.
To another 11 seed.
Yep.
That one, and Mahomes did pony up.
Yep.
No, he did pony up.
Yep.
He did the Texas. I guess he betted Texas. But, I mean, that was the big major upsets that happened in the round of 64.
That happened yesterday, yep.
That broke. I mean, the biggest one that broke was Kentucky.
Kentucky go down. I watched it live. Like, it was...
They lost.
Kentucky, honestly, though, it looked like Kentucky didn't know what to run. Those players didn't know what to do. Like, they weren't ready for that moment. And
that's why you need the seasoned players to calm the freshmen. Because those freshmen are high school seniors. Mm. Freshmen in college. I mean, like, the whole entire thing is all new. Like, they play basketball. Yeah, I get they play basketball, but there's levels to everything.
But I also think, too, on a side note, I think a lot of problem with what you're seeing is AAU sports in general, but I'm talking about basketball. It's just all about winning. There's not about building your fundamentals, learning the game. You just think you can go in there. These kids now are just, they think they're winners because you build the best team. There's no, like Devin Booker said, we really need to get back to these guys. You could still be friends. Like me and you are friends. We can still be friends, but when we step on the court, we are killing each other. There's not really that killer mentality.
I'll punch you.
There's not really this killer mentality.
I've straight told this guy if we play one-on-one, because we've never played a one-on-one, I've straight told him there was no easy baskets. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you beat me, you blow by me,
like,
go for an easy layup. I'm going to nudge you in the back. Like, there's no easy buckets. I disagree. Because
you don't think there's a problem with AAU sports? Like, it's just building the best team, and you're just dominating, you're winning.
I'm not talking about AAU because that's really anything when you're young. I mean, like, look at any high-profile player that goes to college. I mean, look at LeBron's youngest son. Even the one that's down at USC. He moved a couple high schools.
He did.
When they went to California, he moved a couple times.
They're always moving.
And so you're just trying to get to the better situation. You want the high-profile team. You can't help that. So I don't like that narrative that you're trying to push. Because if it was me, I want my son on a high-profile team. If he's going to be a player on it, I want your name out there. Because your name's going to be out there. But, like, also, like, there's nothing wrong with the grinding aspect and trying to, take the underdog and be the star on the underdog team and trying to do it, which is what's great about March Madness. I mean, that's literally where Jimmy Butler, Seth Curry really made their name, in the tournament.
Stephen Curry really, at Davidson, Curry. I mean, oh my God.
I mean, KU...
His run for Davidson that year was crazy. Had LeBron there in the stands, amazed.
I unfortunately got stumped out by KU, the eventual champions that year, by Mario Chalmers. Yeah, two-time,
Beat Derrick Rose. John Calipari, too, was the head coach of that team, Memphis Tigers.
I don't really have problems with the quote-unquote, like, super team you're trying to push for the AAU. Like, I mean, like...
I just think these guys...
I
think players need to start developing better. They need to work on better fundamentals and get rid of these bad habits. Like, me growing up, I didn't have a post game. I was just a standstill shooter. And then I met my coach, Steve Billups, and he goes, well, what else can you do? I was like, I just stand in the corner and wait to shoot. He goes, no, that's not going to work. Where's your post game? I don't have one. We're going to work on that. Where's your ball dribbling? I don't do that. And literally, I built these other fundamentals. I feel like some of these guys are stuck. They don't try to get better at anything. You have to get better.
This is why I disagree with you on that. Your oldest boy, coach, literally said, what are you good at? Well, I like to play defense. I just want to play defense. What about your offensive game? Let's develop your offensive game. Well,
my oldest son does not run to do that.
He didn't want to do that.
He likes to stop people.
I kind of disagree with you on that because that really comes down to
it's also your mentality. What do you want to do? I would like my son to get an offensive game because I want to see him score, but he doesn't. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to stop you from scoring.
You're the parent. That comes down to the coach, but it's also the parent seeing, okay, is my coach pushing my player? Is my coach pushing my kid to be better, to work on his downfalls? It's hard for a parent to say my kid has a downfall in anything, but you're really good at one thing, but you kind of like a little bit of this. That's the coach. That's on the coaching. So parents moving their kids to go to other colleges.
We've stayed with the same coach. We've stayed with the same coach.
I'm not coming at you, but that's what you're saying.
But the same coach every year, he's always...
No, but you're targeting AAU basketball and saying, well, they're weak. That's on the coaching. That's why. Why do you think parents...
No, I'm saying
coaching... Why do you think LeBron moved his kids to different schools to try to get the better coaching? You're LeBron, so I'm not going to...
Well, I think coaching does matter, too.
It matters. That's all that matters.
Well, no,
the guys is gonna be like.
What I'm saying though, in the AAU scene, I think coaching's got bad where it's just about winning. We're not trying to develop these guys.
That's what's wrong with. That's
what I'm saying is wrong with AAU.
And that's what you're trying to say.
You're just building and wanting to win.
Why do you think kids move so much? Because the parents realize that you're not
coaching.
I can see my kid's really, really good at just dunking the ball like Zion Williams, but he has no 3-point game. He's good in the mid-range, but he has no 3-point game. Yeah. You just think if Zion Williams had a coach say, stop, you no longer can do that. You can only shoot.
Yeah, no.
In practice, obviously in the game, go and dunk out. Put your
But
nut.
the player also has to be willing to want to get better. If you want to stay in your
that's
lane,
on the coach. If I had a, and for me,
what was you?
My sport was soccer.
You had offers.
I had
full
full rides, and I was a defensive player. But I also really did like to score. But my coaches also pushed me to get better offensively.
But did you want to?
I wanted to. Like, push me, make me better. They made me better. They made me better offensively, but they also pushed me and made me always go against. I was number one. They always made me go against the number one offensively, so I could. We're grinding.
Steve Phillips, he made
steal on steal.
When we had a basketball camp, I had to guard the college guys, and the college guys had to guard me in camp. I wasn't allowed to go up against the high school kids. I had to go across a dude that was either a freshman, sophomore, junior college, and he was pressing me, and I had to press him. Like, my coach was in my ass. Don't you give up. You get him. Yes. And that made me better. It made me.
So to me, that's why it's on coaches. Like, for me, like, no, like, oh,
but I don't think we have a whole lot of coaches like that anymore. To me, this is no disrespect. We've gotten these coaches coaching sports. I'm talking all sports. We've gotten these coaches that are, I hate to say this, that were losers, that lost, that never won, and they've made it into everybody's got to win. Everybody got to get a trophy. No, I don't want my kids having no goddamn participation trophy.
No. I agree. Parents are that way. Coaches are afraid to upset the parents and lose those.
I want that.
You do. I would, but
I want that.
The majority of parents.
I'm so sick of this participation.
The majority of parents nowadays. They don't want that. They're like, oh, we're all winners. No. Even.
You know how many times I cried because I lost and it made me better? We don't have that anymore.
Well, it's the same way, like way back when we all played T-ball. When we were playing T-ball, when we get done playing, I look at my parents. Did we win? Well, they didn't keep score. Did we win? No, you guys lost. All right, so y'all keeping score. Damn, we lost. We get done playing the game of T-ball. Well, did we at least win?
Like my son
won that game.
My son's soccer team.
Everybody keeps
They
score.
went like 3 years where they didn't lose. And my son Bradley would talk about, we always win. I'm like, you don't. I was like, I used to tell the coach, I was like, sometimes I almost wish you guys would lose because they don't know what losing feels like. Because they've won so much that they've gotten used to, they forgot.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can be bad. That's all I'm saying. It can be bad sometimes. You have to know the feeling of defeat. And parents have got to let their kid understand defeat.
That's just
it's okay to cry to lose. I cried. It's okay to lose.
That's just the problem with the era. Not necessarily the coaches, because I don't think it's not the coaches that didn't win. It's the coaches that won. The coaches that experienced the losses, the low lows, and the high highs. That really are the coaches. It's not the media. I mean, you probably have some coaches out there that weren't the best, but they also understand the importance of winning and developing a game. But that's also why high-profile players, they switch teams to get to the better coaches, to the better situation where they can grind iron on iron.
I understand.
So I semi-disagree on the AAU. I can't help you have a stacked team. If I'm a great coach and you have a player and he's a great player, but you don't feel like he's being pushed, and you see or hearing what I'm doing over here, you're going to move him to me. Yeah. You're not going to hesitate.
Yeah.
You're going to I want the best for my player.
I
which is nothing wrong with that. You can't help that.
We have to get over this hump of everybody.
I don't even like that you brought up Devin Booker, though. He's the same guy that bitch in a pickup game.
No, you're not.
No double. So Devin Booker can't talk on that.
Well, we're double.
He gets.
We're double.
Well, not anymore. He doesn't get double.
Well, no.
Not because of KD and Bradley Beal. He can't be doubled.
No.
So that's the same guy who don't double. You literally got doubled in the finals.
What did Kobe say? Send another.
Give me three. Give me
Send
4.
Another, baby.
Well, what'd you say when you were playing basketball and you just stopped one guy? Give me another. Give me another. No, don't sub me out. Give me another. I'm not tired yet. I'm dog tired. Give me another.
I was a dude.
That's the broken mentality. That's the mentality that the young, that the people that broke this are.
Well, I also think too the Mamba mentality gets thrown around way too much. Kobe went into a zone. You guys don't understand. I've been to his camp. I watched this man snap on a dime so quick. People throw out, Mamba mentality. No. Kobe is the only dude in the world that will ever have that mama mentality type of.
Is there any players currently in the NBA that has would you or I, but you currently, but we'll say you, has mama mentality that has that?
I only think there's one player.
Okay, me too.
And I think it's LeBron. I think LeBron has it, but it's a different type. It's the mama mentality, but it's not the mama mentality you would think. Kobe was going to beat you up. He was going to get into you. LeBron's going to beat you with his teammates. Kobe was going to beat you with himself. LeBron beat you with everybody on the court, so not just him.
You and I agree a little bit. I think the only person, and that's because of the documentary that came out, that LeBron is the only current player. I'm not saying other players that weren't in the Olympic team with Kobe didn't take that from there, but they saw the next level, the next effort that it takes. And I think, currently, because LeBron's like fucking goddamn 80 years old. But LeBron, I think, without Kobe, LeBron isn't even LeBron without Kobe.
Kobe showed him.
You're right in the instance of Kobe's like, I'm going to kill you mentality. LeBron, younger LeBron, like towards of his Heat stint, and then when he got to the Cavs, and then his first year with the Lakers before he hurt his groin, was definitely, it's just all me kind of mentality. But the only person that's left is LeBron from that thought process and that era, and I think his boys hopefully kind of he's definitely in grind that anybody that's ever been to it, he kind of has been a LeBron, been around him, has been trained by him, his boys. That's a mentality that anybody should live at. Is like, I can do more. I'm tired, but I can do more. It's really a mentality. It's not that I'm going to kill you. Yeah. It's that I'm tired. Do 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Do 5 more math problems.
Kobe's mentality was he was just
no matter what. It doesn't have to be physical though.
No.
It can be science. My brain like math. I can't do it anymore. Give me 5 more math problems.
Yeah.
Give me 5 more of this. Yeah. Give me 5 more reps of anything. But you're not wrong. But we got on a rant. But we got our NBA talk, which is great. Wemby. Will he not win Rookie of the Year?
I think he's got Rookie of the Year locked up.
You think he surpassed Chet? Because he's really the only other.
He surpassed Chet. I will tell you this. I think I said it on here. I didn't say it here. I definitely said it on TikTok. I thought I thought Wemby was going to be more defensively than offensively. His defense has been way better than I thought.
Yeah.
His offense is way better than I thought. I would say this right now. I think he should win Defensive Player of the Year too. I know this.
Why are you giving Wembanyama the Rookie of the Year over Chet? Because Chet in OKC, 1 seed, 2 seed potentially in the West. Now, granted, I will give it to you though. He had a bye year because LeBron broke his foot.
He broke his foot
/ ankle.
How do you feel about that? Do you think Chet should technically be a rookie? Even though he sat in NBA games, he traveled the team, he worked with the staff.
Well,
he understands that.
So, no, I don't think he should be considered a rookie. Baseball is a little bit different for everybody that's out there in baseball. Baseball is a little bit different because you don't automatically jump out to the major leagues. You go to AAA, AA. You work your way up, and then you finally hit the pros. Why is Mahomes not considered a rookie? Why did Mahomes? He played one game. He played one game for instances that he redshirted. He never played.
Yeah.
So if Mahomes' first year, he was a full-time starter, would have won Rookie of the Year. He had a full season to learn the NFL. Yeah. Like, there's no one's going to say, well, no, he literally would have.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin, injured, won Rookie of the Year. Joel Embiid didn't play Rookie of the Year. He was injured, but had full Ben Simmons.
Jonathan Mitchell. Jonathan Mitchell was upset. He felt like Ben Simmons shouldn't have been a rookie. It's tough.
Because you have a full year of
you travel.
Medical staff, pro coaches learning the system.
Yeah,
and Chet didn't even get it. I get it because Joel didn't. Ben didn't. Blake didn't. And they all got hurt. And I'm pretty sure there's even so many games they give you in the NBA that you can play before actually you're considered a rookie still. I think it's 10.
Yeah,
I might be a little bit wrong on that one actually, guys, but I think there's a limit of games that if you don't actually play. So I don't consider Chet. In my mind, he's not a rookie.
No,
just because you didn't play, dude. This is your second. You look at him. You look at his card. 2 years in the league.
Yeah, it's tough.
Victor, rookie. He has an R. He has an R by his name.
Yeah,
Chet doesn't.
I agree with you. Chet technically has gotten a year on his belt.
I don't like that.
But
I
back on your point, I think Wemby has it wrapped up. Now, granted, when those two dudes face each other, they cancel each other.
The rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. I think Wemby has it wrapped up. Now, I want to talk about defensive player of the year.
You want to talk about defensive player of the year?
I think he.
It can't be Victor Wembanyama. His team is ass.
But when you take him off the court,
his team's still ass.
When you put him on the court,
team's still ass.
But they move up. This is my thing.
His team's still ass.
It's tough though because he's breaking shit that we have not seen done since the 90s. He's averaging 7. He's getting 7 blocks, 7 steals. Scoring 30, grabbing 15 to 17 rebounds a game.
Scoring's not.
No, I know, but I'm saying he is literally.
He has the most steals, the most blocks combined over the past 7 to 9. I think it's 9 last defensive rookie of the years. Combined stat, if you put the blocks and steals together, he has the most over the last 9 years that have won.
We have 11 games of the season. He's already blown Jarrett Jackson Jr.'s defensive stats out of the. From last year, already out the water.
He's the last rookie to ever record 200 blocks since Tim Duncan.
So,
but is that more of a system though? Like Tim Duncan was a Spur. He's a Spur. Maybe kind of a system kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get he's 7'5" with the humongous wingspan, but Tim Duncan was a Spur and had 200 blocks as a rookie.
The politics, obviously, because his team is as a whole.
So who's rookie of the year? Rookie of the year? Who is it?
It's Wemby.
If it's not Wemby, then who?
Well, if it's
you got AD out there. AD.
Oh, you mean defensive player of the year?
Yeah, defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year. Well, Wemby seems to think that Rudy Gobert is going to win. He came out and said, let Rudy win it now, and then after that, it's me. We talked about this at the gym the other day. We feel like politics are getting in the way, but Wemby should really win defensive player of the year every year.
If this is him as a rookie, could you imagine
what he's
going to be for the next 15 to
10, 15 years?
Next 10, 15 years, he's going to be defensively good guy. He's only going to get bigger and get better.
Can you get stronger?
People are going to get fucking bored.
The
same way that Joker didn't win MVP last year. He didn't get a 3-peat.
Sucks.
No, because you sat there and said, well, Joker doesn't deserve a 3-peat because LeBron didn't get a 3-peat because he was somebody else.
Politics got in the way. That's why he didn't win it last year. That's why he...
You said you sat here and told me Joker did not deserve a 3-peat because LeBron didn't get a 3-peat. So you're going to give it to Joel, who did not even have remotely as close to the impact that Joker had?
My thing is you can't give it... I get Joker's impact. I just don't think you give him a 3-peat. You didn't give it...
He was still the best player.
Embiid should have won the damn MVP every year he was in the league then.
I can't help previous what happened. I'm telling you right here, right now.
LeBron got robbed of multiple MVPs. Multiple.
So Wemby should get Defensive Rookie of the Year even though his team is ass?
With
all the stats that he's putting up, it's hard to say that Defensive Player of the Year is not kind of a team stat, a team record stat.
But isn't the Defensive Player of the Year also making up for where your team lacks because you're the guy doing it?
Well, he's clearly not doing enough because they still suck.
Well, I mean, they are. I think dead last in the. Yeah, they are. They're dead last at 15-54.
But his plus and minus is outrageous.
But when he's on and off the court, yeah, you said it's crazy, especially defensive.
I think it's going to be really tough. So you got him. You think he should win Rookie of the Year?
Victor. Yeah, I think
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
And you do think he should win Defensive of the Year?
I do.
I was halfway about All-Star break. You asked me, and I'm like, it's Defensive Rookie of the Year is a team award for the best defensive player on a playoff team. A playoff team doesn't mean you're a top 5, top 6 team. A play-in team nowadays, you still would associate, but everything he's doing, it can't. It's not his fault. It's not better talent.
That's why he was the number 1 overall pick. I mean, you're going to a very
Actually, they weren't the worst team, though.
Well, no, they
weren't the worst team. They just won the ping pong ball.
They did, but
they just won the ping pong ball, which some people think was rigged. But they won the ping pong ball. And they can't help they weren't able to. There's not a talent to go with him Yeah.
It's
I will
hard.
be. I will be really curious to see the vote on how it goes because if Victor doesn't win it,
would you be pissed if he's not second? Like if he's anywhere below second, you're gonna be
if he's not 1B, will have a hellacious problem. If he's not, because
when you look at everything he's broke down defensively, and then you have to go back to the '90s, the early 2000s, and you haven't seen that.
Compare him with anybody the way he's doing,
and he's destroyed the last 9 defensive player of the years.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's like if, but
since we're talking about the rewards. MVP. Who do you got?
MVP.
Who you got right now with about 13, 12, 11 games left for most teams? Who you got going there? I mean, Joel's out.
Yeah, Joel's out of it.
He didn't play
Jason
enough.
Tatum is folded in too many games. He's not going to get it.
Big games.
In big games.
Which is what he's known for doing. A lot of finals and the Eastern Conference.
Honestly, Joker's going to be in the conversation. He has to be.
I mean, triple-doubles out the ass.
I think SGA has to be in the conversation.
Shaw, OKC.
I also think Luka has to be in that conversation as well.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he is holding on to that 6th seed right now, but
it's not play. That's not playing.
It's not playing. Even though he's tied 6 and 7 or 6 and 7 and damn near 8th place are damn near tied. They're separated by.
But he's in 6th if it started.
But he's in 6th if it started right now. So I think, to me, Western
that's
side.
All that matters. Standings where you're at, no matter you're tied or not.
Those are guys. I think another dude that needs to be semi in the conversation is Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think he'll get it, but I think he's going to be in the conversation.
Been asked, though, since
the last couple of games, he's been pretty bad.
He's kind of been asked since he came back from his injury.
He's been really bad.
He wasn't on that same level, I guess he was.
You know who else should be in that conversation, too? And yes, they are in the play-in. Sabonis should be in the MVP conversation. He has to be. He has to be. But I think
was he an All-Star, though?
No, but he was the only dude that was in the MVP conversation that was not an All-Star.
But I even have somebody that's MVP conversation wasn't even an All-Star. He's not even good enough to make it be an All-Star.
Well, he got robbed, in my personal opinion.
I don't know. He's not good enough to be in there. Anybody from the East?
From the East, Tyrese Halliburton in the East.
Outside of him? Jason Tatum says him. Jason Tatum said, I keep
Should Ant be in the MVP conversation?
That's not
his
in the
team's
East.
in.
That's not in the East.
Not in the East.
That's,
in the East.
That's West. In the East. Who you got in the East? Like, anybody worth? Like, they're all ass in the East? Like, all the great players in the West? Like, what we got?
Yeah, no. Outside of Jalen Brunson maybe for MVP. He's been putting up some 40-point games. He's got the Knicks sitting in the 5th place right now.
Yeah, for you don't know, Jalen Brunson plays on the New York Knicks.
Knicks.
Because no one knows Brunson because...
Jalen, outside of that, no.
You don't think so?
No.
Not the dude from Orlando?
Paolo Ventura, I don't think the Orlando Magic get talked about. They're in the 4th seed right now. Like, think about that.
Because their coach a fucking contract extension.
You were shocked. You were like, season?
Not even a full season. You're like, I'm going to pay my head coach. Why? And you're like, well, because they're doing good this year.
I have to say this, though, on a side note. I do think the Orlando Magic are being disrespected by not being put on TV more. Paolo Ventura played like over 300-some games before they even put him on TV. Or something like that. I don't know the actual.
They don't have a Dwight Howard. They don't nobody that's
like his game's not flashy.
Number 1, top 3 pick, anything like that.
He was the number 1 overall pick. Paolo Ventura was the number 1 overall pick
from 3 years ago.
I'm just saying he was the number 1 overall pick.
Well, I mean he's in number 1. Literally, it's a big market.
So they're the 4th seed.
I mean that's hella disrespectful for sure.
But outside of the East,
MVP. Give me MVP overall. Because obviously Jason Tatum is
I think it comes down to 2 people, and they're both from the West, SGA and Joker. I think it's going to come down to those 2. Honestly, for MVP, SGA.
I think
being crashed by the little guy.
What's up, little guy?
What's up?
There's a Nair pack.
All right, we'll get it after we're done, buddy. Thank you.
I think Joker gets...
You think Joker
gets another MVP? I don't think Shaw has been high profile enough with OKC.
You think he needs to go on his playoff run? Needs to show what he can do in the playoffs?
I think he needs to show off in the playoffs, and then next year Shaw will be there. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Luka really jumps up in there.
What about Ant? Like I know you said we were on the East. What about Ant carrying a big?
Well, we're talking about the West. I mean, Ant. I mean, it's kind of tough because he's had an All-Star with him. I think Ant has
Towns is out right now. He's carrying the load.
He's carrying the load. I mean, he had the hell of a poster a couple of games back.
Made John Collins fake a concussion.
Yeah, because that dude, nothing happened to that dude's head.
Concussion, left the game, never came back. But
I don't think
MVPs.
I don't think Ant to me is just
one more year.
Well, Ant to me is kind of like Jason Tatum. Like, I mean, if you put Ant on the Celtics, they're going to be just as good. But I think Ant's ceiling
is higher.
Is way, 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 way higher than
he hasn't even reached.
Jason Tatum has ceilinged out. Like, he's kind of like Booker. He's
what
maxed.
You got is what you get. Where Ant, I think, still has
Ant's
like
still
multiple
developing.
levels. Yeah.
I think.
Well, he said that himself. He's not even. You guys think I'm good now? I haven't even reached what I can get. So
in his mind, I think he has more. I think this will be.
You think this is Ant's coming out party, like real coming out party? I mean, they're sitting.
Coming out party is more in the playoffs, so we'll see what happens in the playoffs because they got eliminated.
He showed flashes last year.
He did.
So we're really looking to build on that this year.
I'm curious to see more what happens in the playoffs for Ant. But I got Joker going.
Okay. That's fair. I'm not mad at
that.
To
take
the
MVP.
It's just hard.
So MVP, I got Joker.
I SGA, Joker, 1A, 1B, kind of how it's tough.
Yeah, you don't come in because you don't want Joker to have another MVP. That's fine. You suck dick. It's fine. Rookie of the Year.
Wemby.
We both got Wemby. And Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think we both got to go Victor Wembanyama.
I just think it's
like it's just tough to say that he's not been the best defensive
when you have to go
player.
When you have to go 2 decades back to start comparing, even 3 decades back, I just don't see how you can't.
Comparing stats that he's been doing defensively.
When you start comparing,
when you have 7 blocks in one game and you have like
7 steals, dude playing the passing lanes really well.
Yeah, well, he's
cheat code.
His
cheat code.
His wingspan's fucking tremendous.
He's just. I have to say this though. I was wrong about Wemby. He's so much better than I thought he was going to be.
Oh, offensively for sure.
And the more he gets stronger, and they put more pieces around him. We both kind of said Spurs go get Trae Young. Pair him with Trae. He needs a guard.
If he had a point guard, Colin Trae, they got to get something.
That's why Chet doesn't have to do so much. He's got SGA with him, who obviously is already established.
OKC has a lot of talent, which I think kind of hurts. Hurts Chet overall in the rookie.
OKC never said fuck them picks. We're like, we'll take them.
And they hit though.
They do.
They hit. That's the important thing is that they hit on them.
But speaking on the NBA talk, we have to talk about the play-in.
Right in the West.
In the West. The East. We'll start in the East real quick because
you replaced almost every play-in team in the fucking East with all the teams in the West.
You're not wrong. The play-in right now currently for the Eastern Conference.
Talk about the least.
The Miami Heat at 7. 76ers at 8. Chicago at 9. And the Hawks at 10. I don't think we think the Bulls or the Hawks are a threat. Obviously, the Sixers are without Embiid right now with that knee injury.
Yeah.
The Heat's really kind of the team that
they've came out of the fucking play-in twice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, they've lost every time they've got to the finals, but I mean they've made it there twice out of the play-in.
When you really think about them, I don't think anybody of Philly and the Heat, they don't fear the Bulls or the Hawks at all. Like you just don't fear them.
No.
Like I said, but when you think about if the Philly and Miami get in, the top 2 teams, like you don't want to see either of those guys in the first round.
If you're the Celtics, do you really want to face Philly with a healthy Joel?
Well, depending on what he is when he comes back, probably not. No.
Even 80% Joel, he's going to beat the shit out of
Maxey's came out of this year.
Well, I mean, like Joel's going to beat the shit out of.
And then Miami, you don't want to see Miami either because you know what they can do. Like you just know what they can do.
Have a lot of they have a lot of L's to them.
So, like I said, it's just not a whole lot of excitement in the
outside of the Heat in the 76ers. Like I mean, the Bulls and the Hawks don't really do a whole lot for you.
I mean, yeah, there's just not a lot. But when you get to the West, you got at the 7th seed the Phoenix Suns. Let's remind you, they have KD, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker on it. They did add Isaiah Thomas, just saying, even though he's not really going to play. He's a rotation player.
A 10-day deal.
But then you got the Sacramento Kings, who were a 2 seed, I believe, last year.
They do believe so.
And then you got the Los Angeles Lakers. They got LeBron and AD. And then at the 10th seed, you got the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry, Clay, Draymond, Kuminga, all these guys. Like, if you're the 1-2 seed, you don't want to see any of those teams in the first round. No, not one of them.
You really want to see Like the Beam, KD, Book, Bradley
Like,
Beal
if
in the
you're
playoffs.
OKC and, like, you don't want to see any of those teams at the AC, I don't care who it is.
You don't want to see the Lakers. You don't want to see the Kings.
Like-
Like the Kings roster is pretty much the same from last
Oh,
year.
man. Like,
So the fact that like the Kings have took not really a step back.
it's
and
just
they've
there's
lost
so
a
much
couple-
talent. It's just
But I mean, read off their records.
like, okay, so Phoenix right now is 41-29 at the 7th seed. The Kings are 40-29 at the 8th seed. The Lakers are 37-32 at the 9, and Golden State's 36-32 at the 10.
And read off the East play-in.
The East playing, no, not a problem. So at the 7th seed, 38-31 for Miami. 9th seed Sixers, 38-31. Chicago, 34-36. And the 10th seed Hawks, 30-30.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, no,
You see what I'm
I
saying here. Like the fucking East play-in would be in the playoffs, and the fucking East. That's the play-in.
No, when you really think about it, the Hawks are gotta lose. Two teams in the play-in have a losing record, and
like
nobody in the West has a losing record. They're
Like, you
all
don't-
above 500.
you don't want to see the Suns with KD, Book, Beal. They can be healthy.
The one thing you say about the Phoenix this year, they've just been unhealthy. Booker's been hurt.
Booker,
Bradley Bill's been
Beal's
out.
been hurt since the beginning.
They
of
just
it.
haven't really been able to mesh, and like that, you don't want to see them in the playoffs.
You don't want to see the Kings with Sabonis and Fox.
I'm sorry, I don't want to see any of those teams. Like it's gonna honestly, if this play in Dallas, for the record, Dallas is at the 6th seed, but they are tied with the Phoenix Suns. They're both have the same record, but I think Dallas has got a little bit of an somewhere, so
They're
above.
2 games back from the 5 and 4.
Well, let's see right now. Yeah, I mean, think about it. So really,
So
the 4 seed to the 8 seed is only separated by 3 games. Really, from
With
the 4 seed
about
down.
12
So,
games to go. I mean, you can see the Clippers.
like, there's
even.
so much that could
You
change.
see the Clippers and Pelicans both in the play, and honestly, if I'm the 1 seed, 2 seed, I'd rather not.
Like, I know.
I mean, out of all, if you're the 1 seed,
even if you're the 3 seed, think about like the 6 seed. Like anybody can flop. I don't want to see that
I
either.
just think like the West is just full of. I mean, OKC OKC was the play-in
Can you
tournament
fathom
last
a
year.
playoffs this year without a LeBron and Stephen Curry in it?
We're going to get one in the play-in.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get it, but I'm just saying playoffs. That would be.
Yeah, there was no Curry a couple years ago, and we had LeBron.
So I'm just.
But I mean, think about it. OKC was a play-in tournament was in the play-in, and now they're firmly in the 1 spot.
Yeah.
Top 3 definitely. I mean, they're not going to fall out of the top 3.
I'm just saying, bro. That play-in, the play-in is literally gonna be like a Western Conference Finals.
I think that the whole entire West playoffs is going to be a lot more entertaining than the East.
Oh, absolutely.
With all the talent, the big names they have, the play-in is going to be a lot more entertaining to watch than most of the fucking East playoffs.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Absolutely. Like, regardless, I think the West wins the NBA Finals. Regardless of who gets there from the West, I think they win. I just don't think anybody from the East can really match the West. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm being disrespectful at the same time.
I mean, if you get like, I don't know, the Timberwolves somehow manage to get there, or the Clippers, or even the broken Warriors. I mean, the Warriors are only scary because of Curry could drop 60
the 3-ball,
any
he can
time.
pop off. And then
But like, there's some lower edge teams, but like, they're just
there's just talent.
Curry gets hot. What are you gonna do?
There's
But
just,
in the finals,
there's levels between the West and the East. I'm sorry. There's just levels.
overall there is. But I mean, according to most players, teams, coaches, GMs, nobody fears LeBron.
No, yeah. See,
Nobody fears LeBron
so-
like they feared, the quote unquote people's Michael Jordan GOAT. And
I have a
rest in
problem with
peace,
that.
Kobe.
That pisses me off. Shaq went on a podcast. What's up, my guy? Welcome home from school. You can grab a snack. All right, go ahead.
How much Jolly Rancher?
For a snack? No. But you grab a snack. It absolutely pisses me off when I hear guys like Shaq. And these other guys, I said myself I feared MJ. People feared Kobe. Nobody feared LeBron. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I remember. And going back on what Kevin Garnett literally said on his podcast, we didn't fear LeBron because he couldn't beat all 5 of us when he was in Cleveland. No shit! It's 5 of you against 1. I wouldn't fear him either. You have 5 people with you. You have you, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, and Ray Allen. I wouldn't fear the dude either. It's him by himself. People literally created super teams to beat LeBron. I know what people are saying. He created one to go get rings.
But so was the Celtics. So was the Showtime Lakers.
Literally, you want to know something?
So was the
you want to
Chicago
know why?
Bulls.
I don't need people to tell me they feared him. You know what was enough to tell me that people fear LeBron? The 73-9 Warriors choked it away against LeBron and literally said, "We got to go get Kevin Durant, the second best player on the planet."
So they choked it away?
They choked it away. They were up 3-1.
LeBron didn't win it.
No.
No. That's what you said.
They were up 3-1.
That's not choking.
So they had to choke
LeBron
it away.
didn't win it.
No,
LeBron and Kyrie didn't go out there
You're up
and
3-1.
win
You have
every
to
single
win
game.
one more
How
game.
was that choking it? It's not like it was a close game and Curry didn't rise
So
up to the challenge.
did Kevin Durant choke against that same Warriors team that he had down 3-1 too?
Yes.
Or did Westbrook choke? Because everyone says Westbrook
Both.
choked. Kevin Durant didn't.
Both. You got to get it done. You're up 3-1. You got to get it
They
done.
were up 3-1. They choked, but the LeBron and the Cavs, Kyrie, they went.
You said they choked it. You said the Warriors.
But in the asterisks, they choked it away. You're up 3-1. The best record ever. 73-9.
They choked it away. LeBron didn't win it.
See, you're trying to make it seem like LeBron didn't do that. I'm saying they choked, but LeBron also won it. You're up 3-1.
They also
You
lost
gotta win one
Draymond for Game 5.
I can't help Draymond has a problem touching people's sacks. All right, I'm sorry. He likes to touch them. Excuse me. I don't know what his problem is.
A lot of people said that was the reason why they lost, because they lost Draymond.
But he came back.
For one game.
He came back, and they still lost.
For one. But they also won it in the hardest arena to win, according to most
Game
people.
7 was in Oracle Arena.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't in Cleveland. They had to win it in Oracle.
Choked it, though. The Cavs with LeBron and Kyrie.
Well, the
with
notion
Tyronn
was
Lue.
back then Curry was a bad performer in the finals. Like, let's not act like
Well,
before Kevin Durant, Curry never really played well in the finals.
You could make an argument that he still really didn't play well with
Well,
KD. He only has one Finals MVP, and it was only from a couple years ago.
His
From
one
2
that he
years
actually
ago.
when he beat Boston. It's just
A young Boston's team.
a young Boston team, and
But that
it
was his
took, what,
first
6
finals
game,
game.
6 games.
I think it took 6 games.
6 games.
But still a young Boston's team, a young choking Jason Tatum with a one-handed Jaylen Brown.
He choked it.
They won it. I would say the Cavs came back and stole that game for the series from the
But
Warriors.
it shifted. I mean, Kyrie and LeBron, like
Clay
Curry
Thompson
said,
out and said
you've
that
never
LeBron
seen two guys.
Clay poked the bear. Said,
He did.
The,
Got his feelings hurt.
LeBron was got his hearing hurt. And LeBron laughed.
Do you think people fear LeBron though?
How can you not?
Like, what do you think about when you hear people throwing around people that fear LeBron?
I think people like to twist the narrative on what fear actually means.
I have to ask you this though before you continue. When you played, obviously soccer was your sport. And I know I don't know a lot about soccer. Did you ever look across at someone that was really good offensively and be like, I feared that person? Did you ever have that mentality like, oh, I'm scared of him, like he's gonna score on me? Did you ever have? Was there anybody?
It was not fear. That's why I think people twist it. It's not really a fear. If you believe in your own talent, it's not a fear.
I've never looked.
It's more of a respecting of really knowing what that person wants to do and doing your best to stop what that person's best at.
Like, you can respect it, but you're not going to come out and say, I feared playing him, right?
No, I would never come
Like,
out.
does that make you a bitch?
That's why it's
for
so
saying that?
I think it makes you a bitch. I think
Because Shaq literally said, I feared Michael Jordan.
it makes fucking...
Kobe, literally, they told Kobe, don't look at MJ in the eyes. And Kobe said, fuck that, I'm looking him dead in the eye. Yeah, I'm not scared of him.
I think that makes you... I think it makes you a bitch, and I think it makes these retired NBA players, it makes them a big
It almost
bitch.
makes it seem like they
Because
like
there's no
Jordan.
way while you were in your prime playing that you're going to look at somebody across from you in your position and be like, I fear you.
I never
No,
stepped on the
but
court.
if I was a big man going against Shaq, would I be scared? Absolutely, I would fear Shaq's dominance. But I'm going to come out there and I'm not going to let you know, but you're going to beat the shit out of me, but I want to make you earn it.
Yeah.
Every player, Shaq made people pretty much get the fuck out of the way because you're not stopping prime Shaq. If there was actual fear of any player out there, it was fucking Shaq.
Yeah.
There was nobody stopping prime Shaq. That was honestly to me, I'm like, no, why would you fear LeBron? Why would you fear Kobe? Why would you fear Jordan? You fear what they can do, but physically, His fear is physical.
Yeah.
And Shaq is just...
Shaq hurts you.
Shaq's going to beat the shit out of you.
He
Shaq's
was
going to
good.
take your lunch money. He's going to take your homework.
Your girlfriend.
Your girl.
Your
Your
side
mama.
chick.
He's taking it all.
Everybody.
Like, no. Like, that's why I don't like
Like-
fear. That's why I think it's funny to be like, oh, nobody fears LeBron. Yes, you do. You fear what he can do.
Coaches, GMs, players, they fear him because...
You fear what he can... You fear what he can
Was
do.
his fear is different than those guys like we talked about earlier.
His
Kobe
fear is no
and Mike-
different than Kobe or Michael's because you fear what they can do.
LeBron's fear is what he could do with everybody else. Kobe and Michael is like
Well, see,
it
it's
was
easy.
more what they could do
Individually, I
individually.
know what you're really good at, so I'm going to try. I fear what you can really do, so I'm going to try to take that away. Well, with LeBron, I know what you're really good at, but I also know that you're not going to always do it, and you're going to give it to everybody else.
Like you're gonna.
So
try
how
to
the
take
fuck are
something
you going to
away.
stop that? So I try to stop that. Stop what you're really good at is get into the hole.
Yeah.
So sure, I try to stop you from getting into the hole, but you're not going to get to the hole because you're
People
big.
always thought like if we make him shoot the jumper, that's not gonna work.
But
because
now he has it.
He
But
has
he
it.
has one that you have to.
And early on, yes, you
Early
back
the
on.
LeBron.
Yes.
Obviously, the Spurs won a
But
ring off
the
of that.
narrative, I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. Look, I've said this before. If you think MJ's the GOAT, cool. I have no problem with you, but I think LeBron is the GOAT. Like, and I'm not disrespecting Michael. You can still respect Michael. I just think LeBron's the GOAT. Like, I just don't think like the records he's breaking, the shit he's doing,
The
still playing.
longevity.
Think about it. You're witnessing a prime Jason Tatum, and LeBron's putting up those same numbers.
You said LeBron's still better than a prime Jason Tatum.
Like, it's-
that's really hard. And Jason Tatum think he should be MVP. I think fear is different. Fear is just being physically dominated on. Respect is something different. Everybody respects and fears.
Like you fear the fact that Curry can literally shoot them back into a game.
Yeah.
That's a fear because the moment he steps over half court, even before half court, it's a bucket.
That's the same with Dame.
Yeah, Dame's got
Like,
that long range too, but like
They come across the court and you see them kind of dribbling,
it's just boom,
and they're looking
pull
at the
up.
rim. They're pulling.
Like,
I mean,
it's
it's
just-
over. Like, they're going to make it. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make that. That's fear. You see LeBron.
people are so. The problem I've always had with the debate is people are so scared to shit on Michael. Like you can't shit on Michael. Like it, you shit on Kobe, but because Kobe died,
Well,
we don't want to shit on
because Kobe really started gaining more GOAT debate, really, with a lot of people.
And
more
I love
respect
Kobe Bryant.
after Kobe
died.
died.
R.I.P. to Kobe. Like,
tragically.
we obviously miss Kobe, but like the moment he passed, it just. And don't get me wrong, I love Kobe. Been to Kobe's camps, witnessed him firsthand. But like, it's just you over magnified Kobe, and he's. And we've always said that we thought Kobe did Michael.
Well,
better.
I'm
Like, he was
about
a
to
copy.
say, talking about Kobe like that, I think a lot of people over glorified what Kobe was because Kobe always said that he tried to imitate MJ.
Mike, and he did.
And
For the
I
majority
thought
part.
he did, but I also thought he did it
Better.
He had the same moves, the same handles, the same kind of shot, the same mentality that everyone says Jordan had, but he took it a step further and made players around him better when Jordan never did. To me, that was
Kobe
Scotty.
understood he needed his teammates where Michael, it took Phil Jackson to literally peel Michael back and be like, trust your teammates.
Well, how can
Trust
you fear in the finals? How can you fear Jordan? Jordan's going to score. That's it. The rest of the category,
Was Pippen.
assists, everything else was Pippen. Reboundings was
Rodman when
was
he had
Rodman when he
they
had
him.
Rodman. But everything else was Pippen. Steals, assist, everything else was Pippen. Outside of rebounding, scoring, Jordan. So all you knew Jordan was going to do was score. When you see LeBron in the finals, Bron,
It's all bro.
all of it.
Like I said,
How can you not fear somebody when he loses? He has nobody else. Kevin Love gets hurt, out. Kyrie hurt, out in the finals against the Warriors the very first time, and he should have won the NBA Finals MVP. And he literally let everything, and the guy that got it was the guy that guarded him.
held him to 41.
And held him to 41. Like, good job, you held him to 41. Here's the MVP to the guy that should have won it. Like, but you don't fear him. You're not stopping that.
Like
You're
it's
not
just,
stopping that.
It's just you can respect all three of them, and I've never understood the notion of why so many people shit on LeBron. That doesn't tell me that they fear you. I don't know what else does because you're a threat. like I said, I've always said I think LeBron's the GOAT, and that's not disrespecting Kobe,
No
LeBron,
way. No way. No way.
I grew up watching LeBron. Like I grew up watching him. Like I understand what Jordan did for the game, and I understand what he meant for the game. But I also understand.
Well, even his documentary, Jordan's documentary, was supposed to, I think, was a little bit in fear of like everybody kind of seeing what LeBron was doing at that point in time. When I watched the documentary of Jordan,
don't tell me Jordan didn't fear LeBron when after he comes back down 3-1, wins the championship against the greatest team, and then you drop a documentary. Don't tell me that's not.
He doesn't, but like to me, when I watch that, I don't really see a. Like, I mean, at that time, like, was he a great... I mean, he's a great of the greatest of all talents at shooting guard, for sure, but saw what he did, how he acted, how he interacted with everybody and his teammates. I don't know how people can sit there and say he was the best of the best when you're seeing somebody that does everything Jordan can do and then do more and make everybody around him better.
You know what also I think about this, too?
Think
about what Jordan did as teammates to his teammates. And you always...
Well, see, that's different. That's not...
No, but I'm saying, no, listen. You heard what Jordan did to his teammates, right? What Kobe used to do to his teammates, what did we used to do to Kobe? Tear him down. But you tell me what Jordan did to his teammates.
It's a different time. There's media coverage. There was no media coverage.
Good job. That was a good teammate. But the rest of these guys are bad teammates.
Anyways, baseball started.
They did start.
They first pitch happened. I don't know. First bat crackled. You know,
I'll be waiting for the playoffs to start.
Take me up from the ball game. You know, all the 9 yards. Everybody, we started. We're off and we're going. And the only biggest news we got is Shohei Ohtani, who can't pitch, who's probably one of the biggest names, potentially somebody that could be in a GOAT conversation by the end of his career. I think everybody considers, Barry Bonds or the Yankee pitcher, that's escaping my mind, unfortunately, as probably the GOAT of baseball. But Shohei Ohtani has a definitely case to be, a two-way guy. He pitched. He hit for the Dodgers for the past couple years. He signed now with the Dodgers. And now a scandal has come out about Shohei Ohtani that his interpreter stole almost over $4 million from him.
4.5.
And then it came out and corrected that he did not steal the money from Shohei Ohtani, that it was for gambling debt that he owed, an illegal gambling.
Yeah.
And he came to Shohei Ohtani, and Ohtani paid off his debt, which is his interpreter is also his best friend. He's also a catcher for the Chinese team.
Yep.
And before all this even broke, Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter
told everybody.
Told to the Dodgers organization and the players, hey, I did this. So everybody was already ahead of it. I can't help the media did break it wrong. I mean, of course, why would the news and the media not feed us false information, right? They broke it wrong. Ohtani knew he was informed about it.
They broke the news that Ohtani didn't know. He stole all this money. He was signing record or his name and transferring money. And I'm like, and then it broke.
That's something completely different.
I was like, wow.
And then it came out the real truth.
I was like, wow.
That Ohtani paid off his gambling debt. He was illegal gambling, but he paid off the debt for his best friend. The Dodgers then turned around and got rid of his interpreter.
Yep.
What was your thoughts? Do you think he was involved? They never gambled on any baseball.
No, it was
whether
NBA,
Ohtani was a part
football,
of it. Ohtani never gambled anything.
No,
it was only his interpreter.
Yeah.
His interpreter, yes, he made anywhere from like $400,000 to $500,000 yearly.
I think the people wondered, did I don't know. You've heard things about did Ohtani, people try to throw, did Ohtani have parts in it? Was his manager acting on his behalf for him? I don't know. It's going to be interesting because
they're investigating it.
They're investigating it. Obviously, he's fired. But what does that mean for Ohtani? This is a guy that he trusts. Yes, his interpreter, best friend, made a mistake and he didn't want to pay it, but he paid it because.
Well, there's nothing wrong to say. I mean, if his interpreter, which is his best friend, stole the money, that's different than him going to him and saying, I owe this debt and I can't pay it back. Can you help me out? And Ohtani being like,
well, they tell you to call the number at the bottom if you have a problem.
That's for legal gambling here in the United States. Now I'm assuming China. I'm assuming it's not even anybody here in the United States, because gambling is pretty much
Yeah,
legal the countrywide.
I feel
like it's probably somebody a bookie in China. I don't know. I'm assuming.
I guess my whole problem with it is, why did you break news if you didn't have the full story? Like, why put something? I get it. It's, you gotta have a story, but it's like, makes you look like an idiot, and you wonder why former players and current players are starting their own podcast, their own sports thing, because they're tired of this type of crap happening. You're labeling someone as something that they're not, and then people are bashing them, or whatever, and then it comes out, and then it's like, oh well, it's like, come on, and then you brush it off.
Well, you're tired, because nothing's going to happen to the media that came out and flat out lied what happened on this scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scandal because it is illegal gambling.
Yeah.
His translator was the person that was doing it illegally. There was nothing illegal about paying off an illegal debt. He gave money to somebody to clear a debt for a friend.
If you worry about like Otani or whatever, I just kind of worry because this is a guy that he trusts in America, because it's his translator. Like,
he's going to have to find somebody else.
He's got to find somebody else. Obviously,
or learn
English, I guess. But
he's been here a handful of years and he still doesn't quite have a grasp.
I mean,
to me on it,
but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
What's your thought that his interpreter didn't come to him until he signed with the Dodgers, until he got the big money?
Yeah, that kind of makes you look like a dick a little bit. You waited until he got the big bucks.
But again, he really doesn't got
the big bucks. But I guess the question though is how long were you doing this? Like, clearly to map up a debt, that.
Well, I mean, it's easy to mass up a debt if you're putting out big money. I guess to me, I mean, it's news for sure. It's not as big as news as they try to make it out to be, as if he was stealing from his best friend or his.
Well, because we talked about that too. I'm like, how do you not, like, your best friend, like, I get you're famous and you're rich, but goddamn, like, $4.5 million. How the fuck you should know $4.5 million is missing from you.
If he's in charge of your books, like, I mean,
would you give your best friend that type of authority over your money?
I mean, if he was a accountant, that's a little bit different. But again, he doesn't understand English
or how that.
So that's kind of falls like to him. If someone's saying blah blah.
I'll just say this: if I'm Otani, I think I need to learn just enough to get by, or just learn enough to understand what you need to understand. Like, I'm not here to tell you, oh my god, because you're here, you got to learn.
No,
I'm not here to tell you that. I don't care.
Clearly, spend his time here
I at least learn enough to be able to understand what you need.
Well, there's a way to call that he really needs to put in some time on,
or maybe it's how to take over your own.
Well,
I don't know.
He didn't lose any of his money.
No, he wire transferred to him. He paid it off.
It was 2 transactions of being wire transferred.
I guess for now, though, to wrap this up, what are we investigating? Because it wasn't here in America. Yes, it was illegal over there. Otani paid it. So what are we investigating?
Well, I think you and I are assuming that it wasn't illegal bookie here, because there's still some states that it's illegal to gamble. Yeah. I'm just assuming that he's an interpreter would be smart enough to gamble in the correct states that you're allowed to gamble in on all the fucking 5 to 6 apps.
Like, I get we're investigating, but what are we investigating? Because they're investigating the money that he wired to pay it. So
I guess maybe they're investigating the bookie, maybe,
or
maybe investigating to see.
But to be fair, this is what you get for making sports betting legal. This was the shit that we talked about that could happen, and the first case came of it from MLB. Unfortunately, it came from.
Well, the first case really was the NFL.
We
had Calvin Ridley, the biggest name that was. They got
it's betting on the real team at least.
I mean, not necessarily to really lose, but wasn't necessarily really to win either.
But
an easy transition to football talk. Justin Fields got moved to the Steelers for a 6th-round pick, potentially now with game time played, a 4th.
It will be a 6.
But they got a potentially their franchise guy that we both feel like for a 6th, maybe a 4th though. But Mac Jones and the Patriots got rid of. No, my bad. The Steelers got rid of
Kenny
Pickett for a 3rd to the Eagles. You're not telling me Kenny Pickett. Justin Fields is the same.
No, Justin Fields was way better than Kenny Pickett. I'll tell you this.
Let alone just his fucking legs.
I think Kenny Pickett made a mistake.
His hand size.
I just think Kenny Pickett made a mistake. Kenny Pickett didn't want to stay in Pittsburgh.
Behind the Eagles, and he's a definite.
Now you're going to the Eagles, and you're definitely not playing. Like, you're never seeing the field with Jalen Hurts there. Like, unless Justin Hurts goes down, that's the only way you're seeing the field. And that's a very big if, because
he played. He played every game past 2 years.
Yeah, last 2 years. So if you're Kenny, I just think Kenny Pickett ran. Why would you want to stay and learn from Russell Wilson? Yes, it's not the worst quarterback to learn, and you can develop. Tap into your potential, that whatever you think you have, but now you're a backup for the rest of your career.
I just think it hurts. It hurts him in the NFL in the eyes of that you ran from competition.
Yeah,
you're not going to go and compete with Hurts
because you know why I think it also hurts him too, because Russell Wilson and then Justin Fields, the Steelers really came out and announced and said that there's no competition. Justin Fields is the backup. Russell Wilson. I'm saying what the Steelers said. Like.
Yes, I mean Russell Wilson is starter, but there's going to be a competition.
There's going to be a competition.
But Russell Wilson reached out to Kenny Pickett and said, "Let's get it." Kenny Pickett said, "Fuck you, I want out."
He didn't say.
But Kenny Pickett also didn't dress when they went to Philadelphia.
Yes, I remember you were telling me. I did not know this, so
I heard of it. It wasn't confirmed until later this offseason. The commander said, "No, this was a real thing that happened." He got hurt. Mason Rudolph was performing well. They're like, "Oh, we want you to dress, but you're not going to be the starter." Well, I'm not going to dress. I'm not going to be the starter. I deserve the starter. He wasn't playing great. Mason Rudolph was outperforming what he was doing.
Yeah.
So to me, even that dogs him. So you're scared of competition, which if I was him, I told you I thought he should being sat behind Russell Wilson, same kind of body style, kind of small, smaller hands, whatever that's really worth for throwing a football. It only matters in the cold, but he wears a glove anyways.
Yep.
So you still have the grip, but the height. The running around, would have been great to learn from Russell Wilson. Said he dipped and went to back up Jalen Hurts for 1 year, and I just think he can be lucky if he still stays in the league for another 2 to 3 years.
I just think doing that, he solidified himself.
Do you really think he'll be in the year for the next? If he won't play this year,
no,
bearing injury.
But I don't even care about Cam. I want to talk about for Justin Fields. This is the perfect situation.
I think it's the same scenario. But Fields is way better than Kenny Pickett.
For Justin Fields, you get to sit behind, you get to be with an actual coaching staff, a head coach who's never had a losing season ever. You get to learn behind Russell Wilson. You get to really
Super Bowl winning quarterback,
a Bowl winning franchise,
head coach.
I just say for Justin Fields, he gets to tap into that potential that we all believe that he has, hone in on the skills. And whenever it's his time to come in and take over, I really do think he's going to shine. And for Justin Fields, I'm happy for him. I think the Bears made a mistake by trading him. Granted, the Bears got robbed. I mean, a six that
even if it turns into a 4.
I mean,
all right. So Russell Wilson, day one starter? Yes, no.
Yes.
Justin Fields, does he ever see the field?
I think.
Barring any injuries.
Barring any injuries, I think week 11, week 12, somewhere right around there.
So you don't think the Steelers are going to be in playoff contention?
I think it'll be kind of like last year. They'll be hovering right around 500, a little bit above 500. Kind of like they were last year. They did trade away Johnson. I do think Pittsburgh...
they find talent.
They're really good at finding talent. That's what I'm saying. They just need to jump up.
I don't know. I mean, that great defense, I think that is kind of reminiscence of the... of Russell Wilson's rookie year, rookie time.
I think they'll be in playoff contention, but it's not like that. Like they're over the top. They're going to be right there, creeping in like they were the last couple seasons.
It's kind of tough to try to.
Do you think they're going to have? Do you think Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season?
No, I think they will be a wild card team potentially with Russell. I think it'll be a wild card team. I don't think Justin Fields sees the field barring any injury. If he sees the field, they're going to start.
I don't think he'll see enough playing time where it'll become a 4th round pick by no means.
I don't think he sees the field at all, barring any injury, unless they start out really bad. If they start, I can see if they're kind of like meh, week 5, week 6, but there's no way if they're in playoff contention, wild card contention, that you're going to make that change week 11, week 12. You're going to ride it out with your cheap.
Do you think they could run like some dual quarterback?
Potentially, you could get
where they run like the Wildcat gadget stuff.
Like the Niners did with Trey Lance early on.
Yeah.
You can see maybe something kind of like that. But Russell Wilson, Russell can do that, though, because Wilson's
mobile.
I'm
just so happy for Justin Fields. You're going to actually finally get to learn to be a quarterback and sit, which we both agree is really good for young guys.
I mean, look what it did for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
He sat behind Aaron Rodgers.
People dogged him for
And he ended up making the playoffs his first year, beat the Cowboys,
Yep.
had the Niners on the brink.
And
then,
obviously Niners got it, but man, But the bigger question is, what do the Bears do now? They obviously need a quarterback.
Clearly going QB. I mean, everybody's saying they go Caleb Williams. Do you think they really go Caleb Williams, though?
I wouldn't touch Caleb Williams with a 10-foot pole.
I think I'd stay away from him. And I mean,
if
you don't go him, who do you go?
I think Jalen Daniels is the answer.
Like
Jalen.
But that's Justin Fields just on a rookie deal.
Yeah, it is. But what is Caleb Williams? A guy
He's
who
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, apparently he thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers,
just without his mind.
Just
without his mind.
If they go, whoever they take, it's going to be a great situation offensively.
It's probably the best overall situation.
To recap, the Bears
player-wise.
have Keegan Allen now. They traded for Keegan Allen. Obviously, have DJ Moore. They signed Swift. So they have some weapons. Offensive
Their
line.
defense, the last 6 weeks of the season last year was a top unit.
So,
which is there. The offensive line is not bad. It's above average. The running game, like you said, got Swift's going to be strong.
Tough.
They have
you
weapons.
Watch, you see different people talk. Some people think they're going Caleb Williams. Some people think that they may not go that route. I've heard Jalen Daniels, heard Drake
from UNC.
Well,
you know how much Justin Field meant to a lot of the players in that locker room when that trade was going
DJ Moore
down.
didn't like it. DJ Moore was physically upset.
But the organization, the GM,
they felt Justin Fields.
They told the players this was about to happen.
Yeah.
The same with the Steelers did tell Russell Wilson, though, we're making this trade. We're going to, get him. You're still the guy. Potentially, you are the one, but you got to earn it throughout training camp.
Yep.
So, I mean, that is there. I think this is probably the best landing spot for Justin Fields. I thought he should have been the starter day one, but Russell Wilson was there.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
But moving on to the Chargers and getting rid of all their weapons because you brought up Keenan Allen.
Like I said, they have no wide receiver room. They have wide receivers. There's just none in there that Justin Herbert wants to throw to.
I mean, Quentin Johnson does not look like somebody ready to be the guy.
And that was a guy that we potentially wanted our Kansas City Chiefs.
We thought the Chiefs were potentially going to go and get him in the draft. And the Chargers said, we want him. And he does not look so good coming out of TCU.
Hopefully he has a better sophomore year. But, yeah, if you're Justin Herbert right now, I'm very concerned because Keegan Allen was a big, big target for Justin Herbert.
He had the best year of his career last year until he got hurt. Also lost Austin Eckler.
They lost Austin Eckler. They cut Mike Williams, who they just paid 2 years ago. So the Chargers are going to look a little different. I've heard rumbles that there was talks that Justin Herbert, if things don't get better, could request a trade. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's just people trying to stir up the pot. But if you're the Chargers. This wide receiver class is loaded at the wide receiver position.
A funny thing, though. Funny thing since you said being traded. If you're Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers and the Bears, I'll give you the number 1 overall pick for Justin Herbert. I don't know. I heard there's been some kind of talk that Justin Herbert could be traded. Nothing of anything to stand on. But you want to talk about being traded? I'll give you because the Bears will still have the team.
You go back to Keegan Allen, so.
But Herbert doesn't have a trade clause.
If you're the number 1 overall pick,
you can pretty much already hit the reboot. You got rid of all the weapons.
Yeah, no,
and
if I'm the GM and the Bears call and say number 1 overall pick for Justin Herbert,
so you think Caleb or any of these.
But
guys
if you're Harbaugh, who's a dude that likes to come in and start from the ground up. It'd be kind of hard not to say no to that.
Do you think Herbert's worth a number 1 overall pick in the draft?
No, but I don't know. You're the Chargers and you're being offered the number 1 overall pick, do you say no?
If you're the Bears and you're like, I could draft Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, or the guy from UNC, or just. Hey, Justin Herbert, who's an established guy, who's a top 10 quarterback,
all pro, you've seen.
And I give the overall pick for Herbert.
If you're the
If
Chargers,
you're the Bears, though, do you really say no to that? If the Chargers say, give me their number one pick for Herbert, do you say no? If you're the Bears, you say no.
I think either way. I don't think either one of them can say no. Depending on who offered it, it'd be tough to say
It'd
no.
be hard for me.
It'd be hard.
I would say no if I'm the Chargers.
Like
You have a stable franchise QB. You don't know what these guys could be.
yeah.
If I'm the Bears, I'd jump on that shit like a bat out of hell. Jets, QB, got Aaron Rodgers, tore his Achilles, fucked my fantasy team.
He did.
Do you go and draft of need, of not need, or do you go get your QB of the future?
Do think
If it's there, the guy that you want.
If it's there, and I think the guy that would be a perfect fit, Bo Nix.
That wouldn't even be there. Because they have like a top 10 pick. Bo Nix, I think probably late first.
Well, it's tough because if you're the Jets, you have to address the quarterback. You have to go to Aaron Rodgers like, look, man, we know.
You got Aaron Rodgers for one more year.
Yeah, but what happens after him? You ain't got nobody. Zach Wilson.
You
You already ran Zach Wilson out.
Well, he's still there.
Well, he's seeking a trade or they're going to cut him.
Well, Zach Wilson's still there.
I mean, it's tough.
Zach Wilson's clearly not
It's
the
tough.
answer.
It's tough. You're going to cut the guy that was supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes. He failed.
So is Trey Lance.
And
so where he's at. He's
and
a
now
backup
Caleb
for
Williams
Dak.
is the next Patrick Mahomes.
I don't want to be the next Patrick Mahomes.
That's a tough
I don't
thing.
want to be the next Patrick Mahomes. I want to be the next.
No, but to be real though, the Jets. I mean, you're going. I mean, they signed Mike Williams.
This is really. I mean, it's an all.
They have to be all in because Aaron Rodgers of his age.
But
you have to be all.
But with
And nobody's paid really on that Jets team.
but think about it. You know the Jets defense. They got Quentin Williams. They have Sauce.
Yeah.
That defense is loaded top to bottom. They have the offensive weapons.
Yeah. They need to.
I mean,
offensive line needs to be addressed. But they did land the big free agent Trey Smith from Dallas Cowboys. Now I don't know how I feel about him because he has been hurt, but I mean it is a big signing for the offensive line.
I mean, do you go and get a rookie offensive? I mean, the offensive line I think is going to be. And they have added pieces to offensive line.
Well, it's also going to be better because Aaron Rodgers is going to be calling the audibles and he's going to be changing stuff up. So it's going to be
I also think the offense coordinator is still ass
for
them. But do they go get a quarterback or not? Do you think it's a mistake if they don't?
I think it'd be a mistake if you don't. They have to try to get one of these quarterbacks or somebody in the later rounds. That's why I think if Bo Nix is there, like in round 3, 4.
Well, he's not going to be there.
You don't think he's going to be there?
He's projected to go late first.
I didn't even know he was projected to go that high. I don't even know why J.J. McCarthy's projected to go that high.
He's projected.
There's a potential he could be a top 5 pick, and I don't see it. But
he's now J.J. McCarthy is scooped.
But if you're the Jets, you have to at least talk to Aaron Rodgers like, hey, we're exploring the possibility.
Why do you gotta talk to Aaron Rodgers? The dude is on last year of his deal. Why do I gotta baby him?
Because if you don't, he might go on a retreat again, and you can't afford that when you're going all in to try to win a chip.
I mean, you're not wrong. I think it'd be a mistake for the Jets not to get
if
their
you're
future.
asking me what potentially the Jets could take with their top 10 pick, if you're the Jets, try to trade up if you can. If not, stay at that 10 pick. Don't trade back and try to draft.
But you're saying so. I don't hate a Bo Nix. We saw what he was able to develop with an extra year in college. He was 5 years there in college, 2 years with Oregon, 3 with Auburn. I don't hate a Bo Nix idea, but if you could trade back in the draft, in the first round still, collect draft capital, still get your QB of the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. They can
and
do
still
that.
be able to address needs because you'd be able to get...
But if you're the Jets, though, you're going to kind of wait to see...
Well, you're not going to make any moves, but...
You're going to kind of wait
if one of
until
those
about 4 picks, like about pick 6,
well, if one of those
you start to really make...
quote-unquote top tier QB start to fall in your lap.
Like, for example, like Brock Powers is still up there, or Brian Thomas Jr., or say the Cardinals do something crazy, like, you have to...
I mean, I guess if Marvin Harrison Jr. is sitting there at 10, which he potentially will be...
We haven't got there yet. Hold up. Don't get yourself excited
right,
yet.
but if he's potentially there, I mean, there's no way you trade out of that.
No, so
not take
I
him.
think the Jets will kind of evaluate... I think when they get to, like, pick 6, I think the Jets will kind of be more on the phone. Okay, let's make a move. We're going up. We put them back.
I don't think they go up.
So...
you don't trade up for a quarterback. If a quarterback falls in your lap, great.
Well, I'm saying more if they try to go away from the quarterback and they're just trying to... If you're all in, you're trying to get one of these top guys, like...
Well, there's plenty of top guys. I mean, top 10 pick. I mean,
like if Malik Neighbors is there, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison... How do you feel about... I mean, they're slated at the 10th pick right now.
Well, at the 10th pick for me, it's very simple. I think the Jets need to take their quarterback of the future for the long haul. They have plenty of talent. They've addressed the wide receiver need. They don't need another wide receiver. They have plenty of talent. Rodgers could retire after this year. We don't know how long he's going to play. If he plays he won't play more than 5 years, and you have your rookie learning behind him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to communicate with him. Like, no, you're really the guy. Don't get in your feelings.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you just have to.
So you have to. But since I brought him up for Harrison Jr., how do you feel about him not doing his pro day now? He skipped, and he didn't do the combine.
He didn't do the combine.
What is he hiding?
A lot. You have your feelings about, which I will let you talk about. I just think I think honestly he's trying to. What is the word? He's trying to pick his destination, trying to take charge of his own destiny. He's came out and said, "Look, I'm not doing any of these. You have the tape. Go watch it. You know what I can do, what I can't do."
Sounds like one of these young people that are just afraid to compete.
I mean,
I don't like it. You're just telling somebody that's not afraid to compete. What's wrong with going on the pro day and putting your 40 out there and your 3-cone drill out there and your broad jump?
But
what's going on?
This is really the really big first draft class of like NIL deal people that have came out. Is really,
but he's already declared for the draft. So they know has nothing to do with it.
No, I'm saying these are the first guys that are coming out.
He could have came back to college and made top 5 pick money.
He could have. He had that opportunity.
But he didn't. So he decided to go to the draft. So it has nothing to do with money.
No, I'm not saying it's money.
So what is
he
scared of?
These are the first athletes that are really coming out that have been paid through this whole process and all that.
And he's going to lose out on money for not participating in the pro day.
So
there's a lot of top prospects that do skip out on the scouting combine.
I mean, Caleb Williams did do his pro day.
He threw, and he's supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. You're telling me Marcus Jr. is not? You're telling me he is too good to go run fucking routes and run a 40? All I want to see you is just fucking run.
I just think he's trying to create the narrative of where he wants to go.
When he's not a top 10
he's
pick,
at the 4th pick. He's projected the 4th overall pick to Arizona, and I don't think he wants to go to Arizona.
I don't think you're wrong. I think he's trying to.
I don't think he wants to go to Arizona.
I think he's trying to. Well, I don't know why. Kyler Murray there. He's a solid quarterback, but I think he's trying to make himself fall in the draft. I think Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams didn't throw, I think he was trying to make himself fall out of the Bears. I think Caleb Williams potentially maybe doesn't want to go there.
I think more he would like to go there now because of the talent that they got. But in the beginning, he didn't want to go there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Alex Andrews was trying to make himself
fall
without being Eli
because
Manning.
the money's not a problem for him.
If that's what you were trying to get with NIL deals, then yes.
Yeah, it's not about the money for him. Like I don't think he wants to be in Arizona, and that's where he's labeled to go. But Arizona has been.
But it hurts for teams trying to trade to get you if you don't compete.
So
then how am I supposed to know? It's tough.
It's tough. I'll tell you this. I think you have to at least do one of them, the combine or your pro day. I don't like you sitting out both, but new athletes we got now.
How am I supposed to know what kind of shape you in? How am I supposed to know you're taking care of yourself? And you want me to invest a top 10 pick in you? No. I'll take another guy that's going to compete.
Yeah.
Last but not least, our Kansas City Chiefs.
I love them.
Fine. They made a move that we've been waiting on in the wide receiver room.
Yep.
We got Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown.
Yep. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You put him next to Rashid Rice, Travis Kelce. I mean, he's excited. He's already working with Patrick Mahomes down in Texas. Him and Rashid Rice and Patrick have already linked up. Travis Kelce will be joining later on after they're done filming their podcast in Cincinnati at the University of Cincinnati. So he's hungry. He came out and said he's hungry to help the Chiefs chase this three-peat. He literally came out and said, I took less money. I could get money in other places at another time, but right now it's about winning. And we've talked about this before. That's the type of people I want on my Kansas City Chiefs.
Hungry.
People that are hungry to win. I do not want you if you are not hungry to win. That's why I was okay with missing out on like Mike Evans because he already has a ring. Hollywood Brown thought he was going to be traded or drafted by the Chiefs back when he came out. He's played with Lamar Jackson, who's an MVP-type quarterback, who won his first MVP. He was the rookie there. Caught most targets, was traded from there to Arizona, where he played with Kyler Murray for a little bit. And now he's about to play with the best quarterback. And I think you're going to get a full showcase of what Hollywood Brown can actually do. And by them signing him, it gives Kansas City flexibility in the draft to do whatever they want. They could go whatever direction they want. And that three-peat is not getting overzealous, but the three-peat, when you really look about it, there's not a whole lot of teams that pose a threat in the AFC, in my opinion.
Well, barring health.
Health is
Obviously a big thing, but I think Hollywood Brown is a humongous signing with, I think everybody kind of agrees, Rice is that short to intermediate route that can catch the ball and explode for big gains that we saw. And Brown, somebody can take the top off, which a lot of people had a slide to go get the guy that broke the 40-yard dash at the combine.
And there's still a chance that they could.
And we still could, which would be a great, he could sit and learn.
And I have to say, though, his pro day did showcase that he's not just about speed. He has great cuts.
That's great. I can look good just running around, too, in shorts.
They can't, from my understanding, Kansas City liked what they saw.
I bet, like I said, I mean, anybody can look good in just t-shirts and shorts running around, running routes.
Obviously, but
so and
like
I mean, it's not
it gives Kansas City the ability to go do whatever they want.
I'm concerned they retained the players they retained. You're not wrong.
L'Jarius might play on the tag. It's looking like.
Well, he'll play on the tag. I mean, he has
guaranteed money.
He's never been paid. But so speaking of Snead, is he a Chief or is he traded?
Well, I honestly think he's going to stay a Chief. I mean, the things that we've been reading, we've been talking about, nobody's really wanting to offer a second-round pick because they're scared of a knee injury that he had during the season.
No, don't put it on the Chiefs. Don't put it on the Chiefs. Chiefs willing to take a third. The Chiefs even came out. There was a deal that came out from the Colts that said it was a third-round pick. The problem is Snead wants to reset the market, and nobody's willing. The Chiefs weren't willing to reset the market for him, and no other team. There's been 7 teams that have been in contact with him. And he wants to reset the market, and nobody's willing to do it for him.
I think a lot of it has to do with he has the rings, but he doesn't have the accolades like the All-Pros and stuff that go along.
Like the Jalen Ramseys.
Yeah, like the Jalen Ramseys. Which, to be fair, to L'Jarius, he was robbed of those this season. He really was.
I'm not mad if we get that one more year of him and McDuffie, though.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either. But, like I said, the Chiefs... Again, they just keep winning, man. Patrick Mahomes restructured the contract.
The Chiefs have about $8 million.
Yeah.
About a little less than $3 million will be allocated to the draftees.
Yep.
Is how that works now. So they really have about $5 million. They have some things they could do to get more cap.
Yeah.
Anything you see them doing with what's kind of left out there, do you think they go and make any kind of splash, or do you think they're just kind of... they're going to be kind of go with about their $8 million they got, and we're going to pretty much
if there was one guy out there that I think they could still maybe make a push for, I wouldn't mind bringing like a Tyler Boyd. Another wide receiver if they don't want to go draft someone that's a little bit more veteran.
In the first round.
You know, and if I'm Kansas City, if you say they go that route, trade back, you know, they're so good at finding these guys in the later rounds that this our organization right now, we are the New England Patriots right now.
Well, a wide receiver, we're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Sky's a bust in the second round, and Rashee Rice is close.
I think they'll try to make a push for like a running back to help Pacheco out like after the draft. McKinnon's still out there.
So is Dalvin Cook.
Right now, I think this is going to be.
Dalvin Cook?
I wouldn't mind Dalvin Cook. I think he's hungry. He's still got a lot left in the tank. Obviously, he wasn't used. He
didn't do anything last year.
He didn't get to do anything. So honestly, I'm excited. I mean, I think pretty much now we're done with all the big moves being made.
I was going to say, do you think there's anything we do?
Outside, I think Tyler Boyd. I mean, T. Higgins requested a trade. He wants out. I don't think he's going to happen with that.
Well,
that's
the draft. We can do. They're not going to give it. They're not going to share with us.
No. If he gets moved, he's going to the NFC.
Well, he's going anywhere but us.
Yeah, so he's not coming to us. But no, outside of that, I think for NFL, all the big news, we won't see none until the NFL draft, which I'm excited for. Yeah. We hope to be able to do that live with you guys. So when you watch this, make sure you subscribe to that channel, man. Hit the button, subscribe. We're almost to 50. I think we're at 33 subscribers right now. We're trying to get to 50. That'll be able to go live with you guys, be able to talk to you guys more. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you tuning in for episode 10, and hope you guys have a great weekend.